Okay, this one should be quick. I just want to quickly touch on the IPC protocol, protocol transport of ZeroMQ. So, like I showed you TCP, I showed you the nproc to have communication between threads, and IPC is communication between processes using Unix sockets. So this one, unfortunately, only exists on Unix systems and not Windows. But it's still valuable, especially I plan to use it when I have multiple containers and I would like the fastest possible transport between those. And I think IPC Unix sockets would be a good fit for that. So anyway, I have the example that is as old as time at this point, which is a publisher and a subscriber. The code should be very familiar. And I'm just going to show you how you can expose, bind your publisher on IPC. It's very simple. You just change the protocol to IPC, and then you need to specify a file name. If you specify it right away, it will be a relative path. If you specify it with a starting slash, it will be an absolute path. So let's just do it like this, and I'm going to have my publisher.sock. The .sock extension is usually how it's done, and the subscriber is going to simply connect this. So it will be the same file name like so, and if I do if I launch my subscriber, so it doesn't receive anything yet, and then I launch my publisher, you see that it works. The subscriber receives stuff. And we can see that under the hood, a my publisher sock was created. I'm gonna remove my previous test. So my publisher sock was created, and it's you can see it looks special because it's a Unix socket. So yeah, that's mainly what there is to know about it. A few other details is that you can have, there's a thing apparently on Linux called the abstract file system. And so if you put an @ in front of your file name, this will live in the Linux abstract file system. And from what I understand, it's kind of like an abstraction layer above like regular file system like ext4 or NTFS or something. And well, the bottom line is that you won't see the file show up when you do ls or anything, but it will still be there in the kernel. I don't know. It's kind of magic, but let's remove the sock file for now, and let's try it like so. Of course, I have to modify the subscriber as well with the little @ like so, and then let's run the subscriber and run the publisher, and we can see that it still works, but when we ls, there is no files. Well, there is one, but it's hidden, it's abstract. Anyway. So yeah, you can do that. I don't see how that would be useful yet, but that's cool to know. Let's go back to not having it abstract, just so that I can show you my next example. There's a thing, so in TCP and in TCP you can specify a little star to say like any interface or any IP address accept connections from there. There is something similar with IPC. You can just specify the star like this, and let's say .sock. Not sure if you need to specify .sock, but well, you definitely don't need to. I don't know if you can, but anyway, the star, when you have an IPC transport, will create a temporary file for you, which you can retrieve with a ZeroMQ get sock opt on publisher, and it will be ZeroMQ last endpoint, like so. And this should return you the endpoint, although, wait, because, okay, I'm gonna check this quickly. Okay, I figured it out. So this is the way you do it. First of all, you specify the star alone. I mean, you can put something after, but apparently it doesn't matter. Then you need to reserve a buffer and its length in variables, and then you use a get sock opt to get the endpoint that was generated for you. and then you can, well, print it or do anything you want to do with it. And so if I generate my if I run my publisher like this, you can see that now I will have, there's a directory that was created for me. And if I ls into that temporary directory, there is a socket that was created for me. And I have also modified my subscriber so that it takes the endpoint as an argument. So let's do that, like so. And we can see that it works again. So yeah, that could be nice if I guess if you, I don't know, if you're unsure of what the file system looks like or anything, and you need a dynamic endpoint in IPC or something like that. So anyway, that's all I've got, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope it will be useful, and see you.